Welcome to, no, it's not snowy Switzerland. This is Spain, near Barcelona, and the weather really is shit today. And that's really a pain in the back because today we have the opportunity to drive the new Mercedes CLS for the very first time. This car was introduced by Mercedes 2004 for the first time. This now is the third model, and since the first, they sold more than 375,000 units worldwide. But today we're going to drive that car, and it's the AMG, so the top version, and I'm going to tell you what makes that car so special to me. The interior of our Mercedes CLS AMG is, of course, absolutely nice and beautiful. What I really like with the interior, beside these two big screens here at the front with a glass panel on top, is on one hand you can really configure them the way you want, and they give you loads of very nice informations. And another thing is the seats are absolutely great. They give great support. You sit really deeply in the car, which I really like. And on the other hand, they're really very comfortable. Very important is if you're a tall person, you have to take a seat in the car with this glass roof mounted, because that really reduces the height here inside of the car about, I would say, 2 to 3 centimeters. So that gives me, for instance, not enough space to really sit upright the way I want. But just try it out and maybe it works for you. And another thing which I do not like so much is because of the shape of the car, we do have this big A-pillar here, and that is combined with the rear view mirror mounted outside on the door. And that gives me, when I drive left curves or left turns, a black spot here, which I don't like a lot. But maybe if you're a bit smaller, you have a different seating position, that maybe completely changes. But if you want to buy the car, and if you're a tall person, you have to try that out first. But the rest of the car, I really have to say, craftsmanship, materials, everything the way a Mercedes should be. For the new CLS, Mercedes developed a complete new range of powertrains, and next to me is Jochen Tirok. Jochen knows a lot more about the engine than I do. Jochen, what will come first with the CLS?
Okay, first in the CLS we will see the brand new diesel 3-liter 6-cylinder engine with 286 horsepower in one configuration and 340 horsepower in the second configuration.
How about petrol?
That's a diesel. Yeah. That's a diesel, and we have petrol engines, a 4-cylinder and a 6-cylinder, brand new in our basket as well.
So what about the 4-cylinder? There is something brand new and a lot of technology. Can we have a closer look?
Yeah. Let's go.
This year is the brand new 4-cylinder 2-liter petrol engine, and there's loads of new technology in it. Jochen, what in detail does Mercedes develop to make that system work?
Yeah, we have here our called M264 4-cylinder inline petrol engine. We have here a power output of 220 kilowatts, what means 306 horsepower. From 2-liter engine. Yeah, in former times that were motor racing values. Today we have it in a production car. Our 48-volt belt starter generator. You see it here or from here. There we have a 12 kilowatt electric motor, which we can use for charging or for boosting, so in both directions. That in combination with a 48-volt electrical system, yeah, gains again fuel consumption and driving comfort.
And let's talk about the bigger one, because I'm lucky, yeah. I drive the AMG at the moment.
Okay, let's go over.
Now we're here at the heart of the new AMG 53 model range, and I've just a question. This looks like loads of technology. What makes this new 6-cylinder so special?
It doesn't only look like, it has a lot of technology. I tell you some. Here we have the 16 kilowatt integrated starter generator. What means we have no belt drive in between, so it's directly bolted onto inside the bell housing onto the crankshaft. With the advantage with direct drive onto the drivetrain without any belt in between, and it has 16 kilowatt power instead of 12 kilowatt as a 4-cylinder. So the next one, we have here a twin scroll turbo system as well, but in addition we have an electrical booster where when you normally have your turbo lag in lower RPMs, the booster boosts and you have full turbo power output in low RPM without any lag anymore. Okay. So that contains the booster and it needs the 48 volt electrical system. One special here, we have no belt anymore. You don't see any belt. It's a beltless engine. So you have the air condition system with a 48 volt motor, and as well the water pump is 48 volt electric driven, what means you drive these units only when you need it and not when the engine is running. Yeah.
Great. So that's a lot of technology to give the car the extra kick, but very important for all of you who love 8-cylinder engines. There will be for sure an 8-cylinder version for the AMG as well quite soon. Let's talk about the drive of the car. I really have to say it's an absolute pleasure to drive that first. And when you drive this AMG version, we're talking about 435 horsepower plus 22 with a boost system. And that really gives you a lot of power you can play with. On top of this, we do have different drive modes as we know from the Mercedes models. And if you want to drive easily and just have a nice day on the road, you can drive that car very smoothly. But if you change into Sport or Sport Plus, that really changes a lot. So the car really gets a beast, but still a Mercedes. And what I really like is we have a very nice sound inside of this car. It's a bit like an 8-cylinder, even though we only have 6. It's a very nice, soft sound that's not as aggressive as a real sports car, but still something that provides you with power in your ears. And what I like with the driving is the suspension really does a great job. So you can really choose between very comfortable or very crispy. And this is the same with the gearbox. We have the 9-speed gearbox here, and that really makes a perfect job. There is the same. You can really say, I want a smooth drive, and the gear shift, you really will even not recognize them, or you can have a really crisp and hard, and that really gives you a sports car feeling. But overall, I have to say, with this Mercedes-Benz, you have a very nice combination out of luxury and a lot of sportiness. That was our review here from Barcelona, sadly with really poor weather. But we had the CLS, the brand new AMG version. I can tell you, it's great fun driving. We're talking about 435 horsepower and another 22 horsepower as a kick with a boost. And what I really have to say regarding to the drive, with this electrical compressor, that car really had no lack of the turbo. It's really an absolute pleasure driving it. Of course, I have to tell you, I like the design a lot. This new design language of Mercedes really fits that car absolutely perfectly, gives it an absolute solid stand, really aggressive from the front. I really love that. And I have to say, that car is a coupe with 4 doors for 5 people. It's great fun to drive, absolutely comfortable. Of course, it got its price, but if you want something like it, that's absolutely worth it.